Hi, I'm Marnie. I'm with FuseTV.
And I'm Amrit, I'm your Faculty of Science and Engineering Officer.
What are your priorities as Science and Engineering Officer, and how do you hope to achieve them?
So I could talk about my priorities when I ran for election, which were focused around exam timetabling, feedback from lecturers, feedback about lecturers, and then also lecturing quality. But as I got into my role as an officer, my first kind of step was to do some information gathering and speak to people. And what I really found out is that while these priorities, yes, are issues for students now, I don't think they actually address the actual root causes, which I've sort of seen as there being a massive just lack of communication, lack of community, and like a lack of just sense of belonging within the university. And I think that stands for within student communities and between staff and students. So um, let's say what the first priority there, but around exam timetabling, I would say I've done some research into why timetables are released at the times that they are, and actually, there's nothing that can be really done about them. Sorry, I'm rambling quite a lot right now. Let me just slow down a sec. Yeah, I did some research into why exam timetabling is the way it is, and basically, the timetabling teams are working as fast as they can. They're doing the best they can to get them out as soon as possible. It's just there's loads of other processes working that mean they can't come out any earlier. But when I create this priority, my assumption was that, oh, the university must just like really hate us and they want to like kind of, I don't know, they want to give us our timetables as late as possible and give us like the least chance. And I think kind of me having that mindset sort of shows the issue that, well, partially, I guess, not just me having an opinion that shows the whole of an issue, but kind of shows that I had the assumption that the university were trying to work against us, when obviously that wouldn't be the case. They are trying to work with us. So I think that's what highlighted that it's just that lack of communication is needed there. Like the second someone explained, like, oh, the university are doing what they can to help improve timetabling, I was like, oh, sold, awesome, that's great. But
Mhm.
before I actually knew what the processes were, there was that kind of cloud of doubt. So to reiterate, my priority is on communications, community, and sense of belonging, and trying to build places where students and staff can establish more informal relationships. So they can have those more casual conversations, um, where it's just like a safe place for both staff to get to know students on like a slightly more personal level and understand that um, being a student isn't just about coming into uni at 9 a.m. and being in uni all day and doing your coursework and that's it. There's so much more to being a student. There's the personal aspect of your life. There's obviously moving away to a new place, obviously as a first year or even as a returning year student, and trying to figure out like just kind of make it through life. We have our commuter students, we have our international students, we have our students that work part time as well. There's just so many other aspects. Um, to being a student than just I come into uni and I do my lectures every day.
Mhm.
So highlighting that to our staff members, and also the students can also have an understanding of how difficult it is to be a staff member as well, and how many other things are on their plate other than just lecturing. So very waffly there, but I hope I've been able to explain that correctly.
You talked about community. What do you think the significance of the student union is to the Manchester student population?
Oh, I think the Students' Union makes such a big impact to all students at the university, even if they may not realise it. I think a lot of students don't actually realise that the Students' Union is a separate institution to the university itself and just assume it's one of those things that's just there. Um, but I can talk about my personal experience briefly. Like I was in a bunch of different societies when I was a student, and I really found the value in just having the opportunities there to like find my community and find my people, and give me more places just to interact with people. I think, yeah, the biggest thing that the Students' Union brings is that sense of community, that sense of belonging. And sorry, I say community and sense of belonging in this interview quite a lot so far, but I think they are just so important. That's why I keep reiterating them. Um, so yeah, from my personal experience, they really brought me like my close circle of friends, and just a chance to try out different things. And I think that's what's most important about them. um, it's just a shared space, for not a shared space. It is a shared space, but it's just a shared. Yeah, let me rephrase that.
No
The
worries.
students' union. Thank you. Yeah, the Students' Union is a place where students can just come together in a shared space, let me just say that word again, and actually get to know one another, form those new connections, and like really make the most out of like what it is to be a person and that what it actually means to be a student as a whole and not just the educational side of things.
Hmm. You also so you campaigned on creating that new platform for student lecturer feedback. How have you gone
Yeah.
about doing that?
So again, I think when I campaigned, I think I got quite like I think what I campaigned with in terms of creating a new platform isn't exactly accurate to what can be achievable. So when I was looking at this priority when I first started in my role as officer, I think it made more sense to direct my attentions towards SVC, so their student voice committee meeting. So all departments have a student voice committee meeting where their student reps go to. Um, so after having collected feedback from their peers, they go to these meetings, feed it back to their professors, their lecturers, their program director, head of years, or whatever, and then it's then on the member of staff to then go out and try and address this problem and then come back to the students with that. So I think rather than having the ambitious, let's create a whole new system, it's more about trying to refine the current systems we have. So I think adding new things is great, but there's no point adding new things to something that's like kind of foundationally broken. So not broken, I think that's quite a harsh word to say, but sort of let's just address and refine the processes we have already rather than overcomplicating things. So there's work being done by myself and the educational team at the SU looking to sort of enhance SVCs, the student voice committee meetings. So that's by working with myself, SU staff, the academics in the faculty, and also the information advice and guidance or IAG team in the university as well. This is all faculty specific. We've kind of created some actions that we want to look to implement that will optimize these SVC meetings. So implementing those actions is currently going on or is currently in place, and then we'll see what the result of those are more specifically in semester two.
What are those actions?
So some of them are around like communication to some of them are simple things, some of them are obviously more foundational. So simple things like communicating to our reps like earlier in advance, or some are like the IAG team who do a lot of the admin side of those SVC meetings. So it's for them um, to have like to upload the minutes from the meetings earlier than they currently do, so academic staff can action them earlier than they currently do. Or one for the academic staff is to like is like I think one about sorry, I can't actually remember them exactly right now, but like are along the lines of like timeliness of when they get back to students, or like the fact that they have to come back with feedback for any point raised by a student has to come back with some sort of feedback. Either it's possible, it's not possible.
Okay, thank you very much for answering our questions.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you.